out focus. So in and out, simple to understand. In focus, in means in focus, out means out of focus. Okay. So when we say during meditation, oh, mind is going out, it does not mean that mind is going outside the house or something like that. Most of the time, that is what it is, because we are always reminded of what happened in the past, what we see in the street, etc., like that. So coming back to the point. So wildness, point number one, obstacle, hindrance number one for meditation is wildness, meaning the mind being super excited, super jumpy, always going out. Out meaning out of focus. Yeah. And within wildness, the most dangerous, or the most how do you call that, the most dangerous or the most common thing for us is remorse. When you are doing a deep meditation, because meditation is the meditation is related to spiritual meditation is related to spiritual practice. When you do spiritual practice, when you pray to the triple gem, when you're doing practices, then you go back and think about all the negative things you have done. In general, that's good, but this meditation, you want to focus on one point. You want to focus on bodhicitta. So instead of focusing on bodhicitta, if you focus on things that you have regret, then it's a negative thing, like that. Yeah. That is the hindrance number one. And so I've shared in the text, the text box, the chat box, sorry, the chat box. I've shared the 5 hindrances and its antidote, its solution, the problem, 5 problem and the 5 solution. So wildness and remorse, that is a problem, hindrances, and it's solved by the antidote called sustained calmness. Okay, so calmness means to calm down. So wildness, we just talk about this. The wildness means excited, like a bubbling, when you boil the water, there's a lot of bubble. That's wild. Always something coming up, bubble, like waves, like in the ocean, waves, always moving, always unrested. Calmness means to rest. Now, when the wildness is there, when the remorse is there, strong remorse is there, you must bring the mind back to its original state, the calm. And then it will once again go back, it will get distracted, then bring it back. Distracted, bring it back. So sustain, continue this calmness practice. So it's called sustained calmness. Example is when you are taming a wild horse. The horse runs away, to this and that. And then you have to use the lasso, the rope, to catch the horse and bring it to you. Then you have to command, you have to train the horse like that. So mind goes out. So it's similar to what we talk in the mindfulness practices. And it's part of mindfulness practices because it's how to build your concentration capabilities in meditation. So mind goes out, mind is bubbling, blah, 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 like that. Then you have to calm it down, meaning you catch the distracted mindset, bring it back. Catch it, bring it back, like that. Yeah. That is called sustained calmness. Bring it back to the original state of the mind. To distracted, if you are thinking about bodhicitta, distraction comes, you are thinking about holiday, vacation, something like that, bring it back to bodhicitta, like that. Oh yeah. Now we move to the next one. Yeah. Next meaning the second point, that is malice. Or I think it said hatred, hateful thought. So hateful thought comes, of course, from hatred. So the actual wording in Tibetan, the original text is malice, which means the intention or the desire to harm someone out of sheer hatred, very strong hatred, and then wants to inflict harm upon others. That's called malice. So hateful thought, wanting to destroy someone, wanting to uh, diminish someone's light, wanting to, yeah, like that. So that is malice. So number two, when you have a strong hatred, yeah, then that is um that is an what is the word? I just forgot. Hindrance, yeah, obstacle. So it's a if you have a strong hindrance, sorry, strong hatred, then it becomes an hindrance for your meditation. Like sometimes you sometimes we see in the in the historical books, like people, they have a very strong desire, strong hatred to some people, someone. Like, okay, like for in the case of Milarepa, right? So he has a very strong mm, uh, hatred, malice to harm his uncle and aunt. I'm not going to the whole detail. So he when Milarepa was very young, his father died, and his uncle was entrusted to take care of Milarepa and his family. But then the uncle and aunt usurped, took all the property, and then uh, left Milarepa and his family as a beggar. So later, his mom taught him to take revenge and get back all the, take revenge. So what Milarepa did is he went to many different lamas and learned black magic. So in order to learn black magic, he has to do, a lot of rituals, meditation, etc., like that. So maybe you may have more question about this later. You can ask, okay? So he has to learn meditation. He has to meditate on different deities of black magic and etc., to get the black magic skills, and so that he can take revenge on his uncle and aunt. So, for example, like that, this is one good example, okay? One living example. So, Milarepa's case, like that. So, that is not a proper meditation technique. Meditation in the case of if you are looking for enlightenment. If you are looking for enlightenment, that is not the proper way to meditate. Mm. Uh, so, by having a strong sense of hatred, your mind gets distracted. Distract meaning distracted from your goal, which is to become enlightened for the sake of all sentient beings. So you are getting distracted that way. So strong hatred is a strong sense of hatred, the thought, deep desire to harm people is a hindrance for meditator who are in pursuit of Buddhahood. Yeah. So for a proper Buddhist practitioner, strong hatred is a hindrance, is an obstacle. Oh, that's all. Dojiche. Thank you. So malice and the strong desire to harm someone. Yeah, so I want to cover like Milarepa story a little bit more. So Milarepa is what is like Buddha, okay? Siddhartha, Gautama, Buddha. I always say this like that. There's Siddhartha, Prince Siddhartha, then there's Gautama, the yogi, and Buddha, the enlightened one. Three. So it's one person, but in transitioning for three phases. Like that, Milarepa, when he was born, his father called him Ga. So Ga, long story short, in order to take revenge of his uncle and aunt, he learned the black magic and he destroyed the whole village, killed a lot of people, everything. So he became known as the black yogi, right? The black magician. So that is Ga. Ga and Milarepa. So Ga is not pursuing Buddhahood. He is pursuing revenge. He wants to avenge the death, what the injustice done to his family, etc. So with a strong desire to harm, to inflict harm upon his uncle and aunt and all the rest, he learned the black magic, in which he has to do a lot of ritual and all that. He has a strong desire, even though he follows some meditation steps, but that meditation is not inclined towards Buddhahood. So later, when Milarepa wanted to change his ways and want to become to be enlightened under the guidance of Marpa, his teacher, he has to face a lot of difficulties. Why? Because of his strong hatred and all these things that the very heavy negative karma that he has by inflicting so much harm upon others. So when you do very strong, very deep, profound evil deeds, it leaves a very strong, indelible mark on your consciousness, your mental stream. And even when you change your ways, you want to do something good, it still makes it very difficult for you to practice, to gain realization like that. So, you know, you know, I guess some of you already know, some of you may know, but Milarepa had to go through lots and lots of hardship in order to be guided by Marpa. So all this because of his hatred for his uncle and aunt, and the whole family that he inflicted so much harm upon them like that. Also, okay, so that can be the counter force, the counter action for that is because it's hatred. So hatred's antidote is patience. So by focusing on patience, you will be able to calm down the hatred, and with the hatred gone down, the malice, the thought to harm others will also go down. And that way, the hindrance or the obstacle to your meditation will be taken out of the picture. So that is number 2. Okay. Then number 3 is dullness. So like wildness and remorse, dullness and somnolence, they are because they feed on the same thing. They feed on the same thing, so they were categorized as one point, one thing. Wildness and remorse, two different things, but because they feed on the same thing, they're called the one. They're counted as one. So dullness and somnolence, two. So dullness means to be drowsy, dull, lazy, that kind of thing. Somnolence means feeling very strong, not very strong. I don't know how to put it. Uh, Out of that lazy feeling, you feel the urge to sleep. Very strong feeling of drowsiness, urge, the feeling of sleepy, very sleepy feeling like that. Lack of motivation, that kind of thing. So dullness and somnolence, right? So they both feed on the same thing. So because of that, they were counted as one. So the 5 things that they feed on, I just shared in the chat box, okay? So dullness and somnolence feed on 5 things. The first one is feeling thick. Second is feeling unhappiness. Third is feeling stretching. The fourth is indigestion. And the fifth is feeling low-spirited. Okay, so these are the 5 things. The first one is feeling thick. So how do you feel thick? In English, when someone is stupid, they call it thick. Okay, so feeling thick means if it's thin, you can see through. You can touch, you can do anything. If it's so thick, you cannot feel it. If you wear a very thick cloth, you cannot feel the skin like that. So thick, unclear, heavy, disconnected, they're similar. Meaning, when you don't understand, when you are meditating on something, okay, this is very important. When you're meditating on something, and then you don't understand what you are meditating on, what's the subject. You don't know the characteristic, the definition, the designation, the meaning, the purpose, all these things, you are unclear of that. Then you are feeling thick. Yeah, unclear. You are feeling, so it happens a lot of time when you don't understand the meaning. A lot of time when we talk about emptiness, then we feel very heavy because it's too much to carry in our brain. And then you feel disconnected. Yeah. So feeling thick, unclear, heavy, and disconnected. It's just one, okay? They're counted as just one. Basically, disconnection, unclear, not understanding the focal point. That makes that brings you dullness, and it will lead to somnolence, like sleep. You're meditating. A lot of time people say, I'm meditating 1 hour, 2 hour. Very suspicious, yeah. They say they meditate, but they're like this. So I want to add one more thing in this particular case. So unclear, thick, all these things, because you don't know the purpose, you don't know what you're meditating on. If you don't know deeply what you are doing, then even if you are supposedly sitting cross-legged and all the meditative postures are there, but you get lost because you don't know what you're doing. It's like so for that you need to study, you need to learn. In the Dharma, usually we say, uh, learn, learn, contemplate, and meditate. So first you have to learn, then you have to contemplate on. You have to contemplate on what you have learned. Think about it yourself. When you learn from your teacher, when you read a book, there's so much information. Now you have to filter it out. You have to take what you need from that. That is the contemplation part. Then after contemplating, after sorting things out, when you buy like stuff from the market for to cook food, you bring it home and then you sort them out. The vegetables, the meat, the dairy product, you sort everything out on its own, by itself. After that, then it's time to cook. It's time to make the soup. You bring out the soup ingredient. When it's time to make the um, I don't know, like pizza, you bring out the pizza ingredient like that. So first you need to get the ingredient. That's what we call learning. Then we have to sort out everything on in its place after bringing it home. That's we call contemplation. Then, um, in order to cook the food, you get the right ingredients to cook the right dish. That is we call meditation. Learning, learning through teacher or learning through a book, learning, contemplating, and meditating. 3. Every practice should go that way. So, in order to meditate, you need to contemplate, right? In order to cook the food, you need to store the food in the fridge. In order to store the food in the fridge, in the storeroom, you need to get the products from the market. Otherwise, there's nothing. So getting the products from the market is acquiring the knowledge, learning. So study is most important. So in generally speaking, in Buddhist tradition, there are two schools of thought. Everybody, they're all same in saying want to become, to be Buddha, to be enlightened, that's same. One school of thought follows the stream that you need to meditate on the nature of the mind and the nature of, because the mind is within us, you don't need to acquire any knowledge. Just focus on the mind and be there, and you will see the mind, and that's it. Once you see your mind, then you become enlightened. That's one school of thought. The other school of thought is in order to see the mind, because the mind is very tricky, sneaky. So therefore, in order to usually the mind is shrouded or covered by ego. And we have so many ignorances and so many negative emotion. They all clothe our true nature. So therefore, in order to uncover each of these clothing, we need to study, we need to contemplate all these things. So much intensive study is necessary, like that. So two school of thought. No need to study to meditate. Very important to study to meditate. Two school of thought. Tibetan Buddhism follows the later, which is also the same school of thought followed by masters in Nalanda, such as Nagarjuna, like that. Number 2, for the dullness and somnolence feed on. Basically, what makes you dull and somnolent? What makes you sleepy? Okay, so is unhappiness. So not so why you are unhappy? You are unhappy when something is not settled. If things are settled, there's no reason to be unhappy. When something is unsettled, mind is unsettled, your house is unsettled, your body is unsettled, then you are unhappy. So when it's unsettled, then what comes is your mind immediately get distracted to that unsettled thing. So it comes back to the last point, the wildness. Going wild, the mind going wild, the mind getting distracted, going outside. Remember? So unhappiness. So if you are unsettled about something, and you just you have some issue going on, whatever, at your home or whatever, and then you start sitting in meditative pause and start to meditate. Cannot. You have to settle down. Maybe you cannot settle down. You cannot settle the actual incident, right? Let's say um, you have a you have a deadline coming. You have to pay a big debt or something. You cannot pay it off just by meditating. But if you want to focus and meditate, you need to settle down. Okay, I can do this later. Right now, my focal point is to meditate. If I have a calm mind, then I can be I'll be more able to take care of my debt, like that. Just this is just an example. So it's like that. Unhappiness come from unsettledness. So you have to settle down to get rid of unhappiness. And as long as you have that, a sense of unhappiness, you will not be able to meditate properly. Because of that unsettledness will make you distracted from your focal point. And once you are distracted, you start feeling unclear, thick, heavy, disconnected, and then you start lose the attention. That's why what we call, oh, it's so boring. You start yawning like that, and you start feeling sleepy. Like,
Yeah.
So I will just add that next one too is similar. So stretching means stretch. So not going to the point directly, going round, 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 round like that. That's stretching. Okay. Whether when you think about something, just go to the point. Don't go round, round. When a teacher is going round, 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 round like that, you get dizzy, and then you feel bored. But when the teacher points to you the right point, I mean, point something directly, then you don't lose the attention. So stretching means to go round, 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 like stretching, like extend. Yeah. Then so 1, 2, 3 is related to the mind. Feeling sick, not understanding, unhappiness, mind is unsettled. Stretching means mind going to round, round like that. 3. Indigestion is related to the physical body. That means you eat too much before the meditation, too much food makes you sleepy, drowsy. So right after a heavy lunch, you cannot meditate. So in the monastery, we take a nap or we do other activities to keep our body active. So if we just sit like that, we become very sleepy, so cannot meditate like that. So indigestion. So when you eat too much, it will not digest. So indigestion. That will make you drowsy, sleepy, like that.
Yeah. Như vậy là cái yếu tố. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and feeling low-spirited, that is, even though it's a mental state, but feeling low-spirited, like mood change, that that is not necessarily related to the mind. Sometimes, no matter what you do, your mind remains like that. Your mind is unhappy, feeling low. It's due to chemical imbalances in your body, hormonal changes. So it's basically physical. So indigestion and feeling low-spirited, these are physical. The first 3 is mental. Now, coming next to okay, this is coming back to the original point, the 5 points. So dullness is number 3, dullness and somnolence. So to deal with that, you need clarity. So if it's related to the mind, you need to distract the mind, get the mind back from the distracted point. And if it's related to the body, then you need to move. Too much indigestion, eat too much, right? Then you need to move a little bit, walk a little bit, and go to the park and maybe stretch a little bit, etc., like that. And the same goes for hormonal, mood swings and mood changes and like that. You need to find things to distract yourself first before going to meditation. If you do meditation in that state of mind, your meditation will be very boring, very unfruitful meditation, right? It's like you have a dirty stained glass, and without washing that glass, you put like very nice drink in it. If you drink that, it will smell bad. It will, it is not going to taste well. You are going to waste that precious drink by not washing that cup. So uh, you need to move a little bit if it's the indigestion, or you need to just do something else, talk to people, if you're feeling low, talk to someone, listen to music, just basically distract your mind uh, and body so that it comes back to normalcy, like that. Yeah. Now, next, number 4 is so it's called in Tibetan inclined to desire. So basically, it's desire, desire towards the five senses, the object of five senses, smell, taste, etc. Right, the five senses. So that is in the term used in the Dharma is inclined to desire. So it basically means craving or attachment towards the sensual objects like food, sex, um, music, this kind of thing. Strong attachment to these things. So that is the uh, number 4. So in order to get rid of that, the antidote, the counter force, the counter agent for that uh, hindrance, obstacle, is to meditate on ugliness. Okay, ugly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So meditation on ugliness. Okay, so this is one way of saying it. So I think the more formal way to call it is meditating on the unpleasantness. In Tibetan, metukpe nyembo. Nyembo means antidote. Metukpa means unpleasant. So the antidote of unpleasantness. So meditating on the unpleasant side or anything that you're attached to, craving, look on the flip side. You are attached to one side, right? You are attached to for let's say a physical attraction. You are attached to the face. You're attached to the body, something like that. Then look on the flip side. What's behind that? What's underneath that? Yeah. So by doing that, you focus on the unpleasantness of that person to whom you are attached to. Yeah. So how we do that is that, like, if you are familiar to Tibetan Buddhism, we do a lot of visualization. Visualize as the deity, like we visualize ourselves as Tara, as medicine Buddha, as this and that Buddha. So many pleasant, beautiful things. Uh, Now, similarly, once again, we use the power of uh, meditation or power of imagination, and then visualize the person to whom you are attracted to. So I'm just using a person because we are talking about physical attraction here, but you can use other examples too. So physical attraction to a person. So when you are attracted to a person physically, to their face, their ears, their eyes, then so there are many steps to do the mitupa, mitupa, unpleasant, mitu, unpleasant meditation. So we visualize that person to whom you are attracted to as sick, as dead, as wounded. Okay, different. I'm talking about different scenarios. Okay, that person is totally wounded. The person you are attracted to, physically very attractive, very sexy, very attractive, like that. Now you visualize that person wounded, and then it's infested with worms, smelly, like that. So just like the positive meditation on the Buddha and Tara, the negative meditation, like the unpleasant meditation, first time doesn't make any sense. You do it repeatedly, again, again, and again. Then slowly, whenever you see if you do it diligently, then when you start seeing the person to whom you are physically attracted to, you will be able to only see that side. Instead of seeing, let's say you are attracted to that person's eyes or lips. Now, every time you meditate on that person's lips being bruised, cut, wounded, infested with worms and that kind of thing, first time it's not easy. It's a very repulsive. But that you do it again and again and again, then after some time, you will start to lose the appetite. Okay, you will start to lose the appetite to be with that person. Okay, physically. Okay, like that. So slowly and slowly, that desire, that craving, that attachment will come down, like that. So that is the one sect, like wounded, and then you can also visualize that person as like expanding, meaning becoming very fat, extremely fat, obese, not attractive. Yeah. Or maybe then extremely skinny, like skeletal, like the Buddha when he was in a skeletal form, when he did the long meditation, he was in a skeletal form. All the skin is barely there. Everything is like what do you call that? The skeletons, the bones, like that. Imagine them being sick, like that. So after some time, once you are okay, at first, the moment you see that person, immediately you are so arousal, like sexually aroused, all these things come. Then you do this meditation. Now, after doing this meditation for a certain period of time, your desire, your attachment go down. And maybe you get to a point that when you see that person, you get scared and maybe want to run away or angry with that person. Then you have to once again do the meditation on compassion, loving kindness. So then you'll be able to make the distinction between love and desire. Okay, right now just talk cannot make much difference. So once you are able to go that way, to that extreme, then you come back with love and kindness, and then you look at that person before you have attachment, sexual desire, like that. Now you look at that person with pure love, appreciation, acknowledgement, no sexual desire, no attachment, like that. Okay, so that is I think number 4, desire. Meditate on happiness. Yeah, that's what it means. Okay. Now the last one is indecision, meaning like doubt, indecision, doubt. So when we talk about something called the mind and the mental factors, different types of mind, regret, sleep, and doubt are considered neutral. Um, because it can change either ways. If you sleep with a good motivation, the whole night becomes positive, accumulating merit. If you regret something bad, it's good. If you regret something good, it's bad. Then the doubt too. If you doubt on something good as bad, that is bad. If you doubt on something bad as good, that is good. Okay, just putting it like very mildly out there. So, but here we are talking about the 5 hindrances, not about the 51 mental factor. Okay, so coming to the point, here indecision means when it is in regard to in the pursuit of enlightenment. If you have any doubt, let's say, oh, reciting Om Mani Padme Hum will be helpful or not helpful. Doing meditation is good or not good, right? So if you doubt on any positive effect, that is a negative thing. You understand?
Yeah.
Here, indecision means not being able to understand the proper sort of guidelines or the path. So in order to the antidote or to get rid of that, you need to properly educate yourself about what is the right step, like that. So a lot of times, so this what happens is when you have indecision in regards to Buddha Dharma. So okay, do you really think like doing prostration every morning helpful? I mean, there are so many like Buddhist practitioner in the world. They're all doing the prostration. They're all doing the offerings. They're all doing meditation. See, they're still suffering. Look at their life, and they're fighting amongst themselves. They're unhappy. They're not rich. Uh, People who are not Buddhists are, Buddhists are not the richest people in the world. They're not may not be the happiest person in the world. Yeah, so reading the Dhamma book, helpful or not helpful? I don't know. Maybe not helpful, huh? Prostration, I don't know. Mandala offering, I don't know. Because people who do not do any Dhamma practices, they fare so well. They're doing so good in the world. Yeah, that kind of doubt, that kind of indecision. Okay, so this concludes today's teaching. And
Yeah.
so there's one question I see. Yeah, so it's a very good question, actually. I already read it. uh, okay. So meanwhile, there's a question in Vietnamese too. Okay. The first one, in the context of study and contemplation, can too much contemplation cause the mind go to wild? Too much contemplation. So very good question. So the same applies for too much reading or too much learning. So too much learning, too much contemplation, can it be a distraction to your main goal, meditation to reach enlightenment? So that's the question. So learning, so the question is about contemplation. So it also applies to learning. Learning and contemplation, there's no such thing as too much learning or too much contemplation. Okay. But if you want to bring it to the extreme side, too much, if you learn without contemplating, if you contemplate without putting it into application, without meditating, you learn about patience, learn about generosity, then you contemplate on it. Oh, generosity and helping people is good. Then you don't help people. You don't put it into action, right? So learning, contemplating, and application. Instead of saying meditation, let's say application. Uh, Learning, contemplating, and applicating, right? Applying, putting into application. If these three things are not done hand in hand together, then it's a problem. Then it becomes only theory, no practice, no practical. You learn, yeah, as I just said, we learn about generosity. Oh, giving is so good, this and that, and you think about it. Oh yeah, if I can give, if I can donate money to people, generosity, if I can help people, compassion is so good. But then when you face with some obstacle, you don't show any compassion. You just jump on them, right? Then no application, no meditation in this case. So the answer is too much study or contemplation is not bad because there's no such thing as too much learning, too much contemplation. But if you study or learn without contemplating and without putting into application, then it's become useless. It just rots away. Okay? It's like food stored in the fridge, but not eating. If you keep eating, then no problem. So learning, contemplating, and meditating should go hand in hand. Yeah, there's actually a quote, a line from Abhidhamma Kosha by Acharya Vasubandhu in that saying, all these three should align and go together hand in hand. And if it does not go hand in hand, if you just keep learning, right? Then you become very good in asking question, but not into putting in things into application. Not helpful like that. The same with contemplation. Think, but no action. Also not good. So learn, think, and then do it. Yeah, these three come together. So just to put it out there, if you're interested, that the quote from Vasubandhu is "Tsulne 퇴당 삼텐베 gompa lani rabdo jor." "Tsulne 퇴당 삼텐베 gompa lani rabdo jor." Okay, okay. So I'll go to the next question. Mm. It's in Tibet. It's in Vietnamese. I just translated it. So during my morning sutra recitation time, I sit quietly and breathe deeply, focusing on my breath for about 2 minutes. At that time, my mind looks for nothing at all. After that, I think about some things that have happened, comparing them with the teacher's teaching to recognize what needs to be done as well as what needs to be corrected. Is this a roundabout way to achieve concentration meditation? So I think focusing just mind being blank and focusing on nothing, I think that's incorrect. Uh, One should focus on the blessings, the kindness, the blessings of the triple gem, the kindness of your teacher, your parents, etc. So basically, one should try to focus on something positive, like that. Um, but the reason I say nothing, it's incorrect is because you use the term nothing. So I'm not sure if it's the correct translation, if it's translated emptiness as nothing or not. I don't know. If you are meditating on emptiness, then that's different because emptiness and nothingness are two different things. So if you mean nothingness, then don't do it. Just going blank doesn't have any benefit. So instead of going blank, focus on the blessing of the triple gem, the kindness of the guru, etc. like that. Okay. If you're doing meditation on constant emptiness, very good. Keep doing that. Okay, so the main question is this a roundabout way, right? A roundabout way to achieve concentration on meditation. Yes, it is a roundabout way. It's, yeah, through this, you will be able to strengthen your meditative concentration. Yes. Mm. Then another question is about uh, to avoid drowsiness and dullness. Is it enough to just get sufficient sleep? Does drowsiness and dullness only happen to people who are new to practice? So, no, it happens to all of us. And if you do not, so remember being thick. If you don't understand properly, if you don't follow properly, if your mind is going round and round, if something that is being taught is going above your head, then you lose the connection, right? You lose the connection. You cannot relate to the scene. Imagine watching a movie that is not very, if it's not relatable, it's not, something very out of your uh, thing, then you start feeling drowsy and sleepy and all that. If something is very exciting, then even if it's the middle of the night, someone talks to you, say something, you watch something super exciting, no sleep, no drowsiness. So it's all about interest. In order to not lose the interest, there should be the connection. You need to understand what's going on. You need to be the the point, the focal point, the what you are meditating upon should not be out of your grasp, should not be incomprehensible. Meaning, if it's beyond your imagination and understanding, you will lose excitement. Sorry, you will lose the uh, attention. So in order to, I forgot to mention one thing. So when you lose the interest, when you're feeling drowsy, one way to get yourself excited is to focus on the benefits of um, like, let's say, emptiness. Emptiness is very difficult. When you explain, it just goes round and round and round. It's very difficult to get what emptiness is about. So instead of now, when you're getting drowsy and sleepy because you read on emptiness, what you can do is, instead of focusing on emptiness, read books on benefits of understanding emptiness. Or if you understand emptiness, then this will, you'll be able to detach your negative emotion, your attachment, everything will go loosen up like this and that. So you focus on these things, it will get you excited. because you are getting something in reward, like that. Yeah. So the answer to the question is yes. In order to drowsiness and dullness happens to all of us, and in order to get rid of that, you have to spark up your attention. And in order to get your attention, in order to get you connected with that thing, that it has to be on the same network, right? If two different network cannot connect, it has to be on the same network. Meaning, what does that mean is, what that means is you have to understand, it has to comprehensible. In order to comprehend, you need to study, learn, like that. So I'm so sorry for extending the time. I need a little bit more time because there's a follow-up question that's very important, okay? And then we can shortcut the prayer session. So the first follow-up question, the follow-up is to the very first question about contemplation and this thing. So the question is, if you contemplate on the point that you have to study during the meditation, could this cause your mind to go into wildness? The simple answer is no. And I think the reason it's important is because I have to explain once again. So, as I said earlier, what you learn, what you contemplate, and what you meditate or put into application, these always go hand in hand. So, learning, contemplating, and meditation should be on the same thing. If it's not on the same thing, then it's going wrong. For example, emptiness. First, you have to learn about emptiness from all the different teacher, all the different books, whatever they may be. You learn as much as you can. And as you keep learning, also, and then just don't like learning is not just reading something like a newspaper, just from head to toe. You read and you contemplate. I mean, you take the information, you process it. That's contemplation. Process. Oh, from the Vietnamese master, they say like this. 10 masters, like Chinese, they say like this. Tibetan masters say like this. Or within Tibetan, Nyingma say like this, Sagyapa like this, Kagyupa like that. You have to understand all of them. But then there's only one truth, right? Nyingma say differently, Kagyupa say different, Gelupa say differently, Vietnamese say different. But it's just one thing. It's not different, only one thing. So how can one thing be described in so many different ways and it all has to be true? So there you have used your contemplation and you have to make everything everything match together. All the different description, explanation has to match. That's what the contemplation is. Once you match and contemplate it, okay, then it's what we call with contemplation, with learning in Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, we call it borrowed knowledge. When you read a book, it's not yours. It's somebody else. If you read Nagarjuna's book, you are reading Nagarjuna's thought. You are putting Nagarjuna's thought into your mind, your head. It's not your thought. You read Buddha's book, you're putting Buddha's thought into your brain, head. It's not yours. You learn, you put it in there, process it, make it your own. Once then you have your own understanding. That is the result of the contemplation. Once you understand, you have your own understanding of emptiness. Then you meditate on it. Why? Because understanding is intellectual. It's not enough. You have to make it your innate nature. So for that, meditation, because meditation actualizes it. You have bodhicitta. We talk about bodhicitta all the time. What does it make? Doesn't make much sense. We like it, but can we practice bodhicitta? No. Why? Because we have not actualized it. So you have to actualize it. We have to meditate it, meaning what we read about bodhicitta in all the Dharma book is borrowed information, knowledge, information. It's not yours. It's borrowed from the Bodhisattva, Buddha, like that. Make it yours through learning, through the process of contemplation, make it yours. After making it yours, then utilize it, use it. So it's the same thing. Same thing, meaning it's the one thing that is being learned, that is being contemplated, and that's being actualized. So therefore, it does not go wrong, go wild when you meditate on the things that you have studied or contemplated. Because what you have studied, what you are meditating is what you have contemplated. What you have contemplated is what you have studied. So what you are actualizing or meditating, what you have contemplated, and what you have studied are all same thing. Yeah. So that's I conclude it here. Yeah, actually there's one quote by Lama Tsongkhapa in the Lamrim Chamo. I don't know it makes much sense here, like in this context. I mean, like the way it's phrased. So it was said that when you train a horse, in the for a race. You train the horse in a race course, and after training the horse, instead of racing the horse in the race course, you take the horse to a totally different place and then tell the horse to race. It's not going to work because the horse has been trained in the race course only. If you've been training the horse to race in the race course for months and months and months, and on the race day, you take the horse outside of the race course and then tell the horse to run, it's pointless. So what you are learning, you should bring into contemplation. What you have contemplated, meaning learning is borrowed information. Contemplation is your own thought process. It becomes yours, make it your own. After that, you have to run the horse in the race course to win the race. That is the actualization or the meditation, like that. Okay.
Yeah. Rinpoche
There? Okay. Gewa di nyurdo da lama sangye chubyura ne drowa che kya malum keye sala ge bara sho chanjo semjo rembo je maye panamange yuroj keba nyamba mebara yang kone gon pewara sho. One line in Vietnamese dedicate.
Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Thank you very much Rinpoche đã.
Thank you Rinpoche La. Thank you. Cảm ơn
Xin
anh
chân đức
Hưng
của tất
nha.
cả
Cảm ơn
các
anh
quý
Hưng
vị
nha.
đạo hữu này.
Xin chào anh Hưng.
Thank you Rinpoche La.
Good.
Cảm ơn tất cả anh
Thank
chị
you
em.
Rinpoche. Thank you Rinpoche. Thank you anh Hưng.
I shared the quote on the chat box if you want to take a look.
Thank you very much Rinpoche đã. Yeah.